The house on Waverly Hill rain didn't just fall that night. It howled. The kind of storm that makes you feel like the world wants you gone. Evelyn Hart drove alone through the twisting roads of northern Maine, her wipers struggling against the downpour. She was on her way to clear out her late aunt's property, a place she hadn't seen since childhood, the old house on Waverly Hill. Her aunt, Margaret Hart, had died under unclear circumstances. As the sheriff put it, no one in the town wanted to talk about it. The GPS flickered and died as Evelyn turned onto the narrow dirt road. Trees leaned in close, their branches scratching against her car like desperate fingers. She killed the engine and sat there for a moment, watching the silhouette of the mansion rise through the fog. It looked alive, breathing with the wind, sighing with age. Inside, the air was thick with dust and something else, something metallic. The walls were covered with faded portraits, all of them showing the same family through generations, their faces blurred by time, except for the eyes. The eyes were sharp, almost watching her. Evelyn shivered, turning on a flashlight. Her aunt had been a historian, obsessed with family lineage. She'd written letters to Evelyn for years, warning her never to sell the house. "Our blood built this place," one letter said. "It remembers us." She thought it was just old age madness. But the longer she stayed, the more she felt the weight of those words. The floorboards creaked as she climbed the staircase. Lightning flashed, and for a split second, she saw a woman standing at the top, pale and still. But when she reached the landing, there was no one there. Her flashlight flickered, and the beam landed on a door that hadn't been there before. She swore it wasn't there when she was a kid. The wood was darker, newer, almost pulsing faintly, as if something inside was breathing. She hesitated, her hand trembling on the knob. Then she turned it. The room was empty, except for a mirror. A huge, old mirror, framed in black oak, covered in carvings of serpents and vines. The surface rippled slightly, like water disturbed by wind. As she looked closer, her reflection didn't move right. It was smiling, she wasn't. Evelyn stepped back, but the reflection didn't. It raised a hand, palm open, and pressed it against the glass. Her heart pounded. "It's just my imagination," she whispered. Then the mirror whispered back. It was soft, a voice that felt like it came from her own head. "Welcome home, Evelyn." She stumbled out of the room, slamming the door. Her aunt's study was just down the hall. Maybe there she could find something to make sense of this. The desk was covered in papers, letters, and photographs. One photo made her freeze. A woman standing in front of that same mirror, smiling, with eyes that looked exactly like hers. The back was dated 1903, the name written in elegant handwriting, Evelyn Hart. She stared, her pulse quickening. Her aunt had once said, "Their family repeats itself." She'd thought it was metaphorical. Now, she wasn't sure. Outside, thunder cracked again. But this time, the sound came from inside the house. The mirror room. She turned toward the hallway and saw it, a faint light coming from under the door. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "Stop it," she muttered, more to herself than anything. "It's just a storm. Old wiring." Then came the voice again, faint but clear, echoing through the walls. "Don't leave me again." Her breath hitched. The sound was her own voice. The floorboards groaned under invisible footsteps. A shadow slid across the hallway wall, long and thin. She backed away slowly, trying to steady her breathing. But when she turned toward the staircase, she saw a figure at the bottom, a woman in a black dress, soaked as if she'd come in from the storm. The woman lifted her head. Her face was Evelyn's. The flashlight died. The house went silent except for the rain. And in the dark, Evelyn heard a whisper, close, just behind her ear. "You never left, Evelyn. You only forgot." She screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the storm outside. The mirror's secretary woke up lying on the cold wooden floor of the hallway. Her head throbbed. For a moment, she couldn't tell if she had passed out or dreamed everything. The woman, the voice, the mirror. The house was silent now, except for the faint ticking of a clock somewhere downstairs. She forced herself to sit up. Her flashlight was gone. The only light came from the morning sun trying to crawl through the dusty windows. The storm had passed. When she stood, her hand brushed against a folded piece of paper on the floor. It wasn't there before. Her name was written on it in her aunt's handwriting. Evelyn, if you're reading this, the house has chosen you. Her throat tightened. The note continued, the mirror doesn't show reflections. It shows memories, not yours, but those left behind. Every heart has faced it. Every one of us has left something inside. Never touch the glass, no matter what you see. It wants purity. It feeds on what we try to hide. Evelyn stared at the letter until the words blurred. Then she heard the faint hum, a low vibration, coming from upstairs. The mirror room. Her gut told her to leave. But something stronger, curiosity, or maybe destiny, pulled her back. She climbed the stairs, each step groaning under her weight. The door to the mirror room was open now. Light spilled out, soft and golden, like sunset trapped in a jar. The mirror stood tall and still, but this time, the reflection wasn't hers. It showed a woman sitting in a chair by the fireplace. Her Aunt Margaret. Evelyn's breath caught. Aunt Margaret? The woman in the mirror turned slowly and smiled, her eyes kind but tired. You came back, she said, though her lips didn't move. Evelyn stepped closer, trembling. You're dead. How? Not dead, the reflection whispered. Not yet. Not entirely. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. What happened to you? Her aunt's voice grew fainter, like wind passing through old curtains. I wanted to protect the family, but the mirror is alive. Evelyn. It remembers. It hunts. It finds the purest among us, the ones who feel guilt, love, fear, and feeds. I tried to stop it, but I failed. The mirror rippled like disturbed water. The reflection of her aunt began to twist, her smile turning into something sharp. It's your turn now, Evelyn. The room darkened. The light from the window faded to gray. Evelyn backed away, but her feet felt heavy, like something was pulling her forward. The mirror's surface began to glow faintly red dot from inside the glass. Dozens of hands pressed outward. Human hands, pale and shaking. Faces followed, men, women, children, all with the same eyes as her. The mirror was the family, every generation trapped inside. Her heart pounded so hard, she thought it might break through her chest. She turned to run, but the door had vanished. Only walls surrounded her now. Evelyn, the voices whispered in unison. You can't leave. You're part of us, she screamed, hitting the walls. But the wood bent and pulsed like flesh. The mirror's surface stretched outward, forming a ghostly outline of her own body. Then a hand, her own, reached out from inside the glass and grabbed her wrist. She fought, pulling back, but the reflection was stronger. The glass rippled, dragging her closer, until her face was inches away from the surface. The last thing she heard before everything went white was the sound of her aunt's voice again, soft and broken. Forgive me. The mirror swallowed her whole. When silence returned, the room was empty again. The mirror stood still, showing only the dusty old hallway behind it, and deep within the glass, a new reflection appeared, Evelyn Hart, smiling faintly, eyes shining with the same strange hunger that had haunted her family for centuries. What the mirror remembers these past, or maybe hours. Time meant nothing inside the mirror. Evelyn drifted in a haze of silver mist, her body weightless, her thoughts echoing against glass walls that stretched into eternity. She saw fragments of her life floating around her childhood, her parents, her aunt's face, each memory shimmering before shattering into dust. Every so often, voices whispered from the fog. The purest are the easiest to keep. The house must remember. We are never gone, only waiting. She screamed, but the sound went nowhere. Her voice didn't even echo. The mirror had stolen that to Dot then. Through the mist, a figure appeared, her Aunt Margaret, but she looked different now, calm, almost peaceful. Evelyn, she said softly, you don't have much time. Evelyn tried to speak, but her words came out as thoughts. What is this place? It's where the hearts are kept, Margaret answered. Every generation leaves behind their sins here. The mirror collects what we can't face, our guilt, our fear, our truth. But you were the purest. It chose you to cleanse what's left. Evelyn shook her head. Cleanse? You mean consume? Her aunt's smile faltered. Sometimes both are the same thing. The mist around them began to churn. The walls of glass vibrated, and hundreds of faces appeared, pressing outward, all with the same gray eyes, the same pleading look. Evelyn stepped back. They're trapped. They are us, Margaret said. Our history, our blood. Each of us believed we could escape. But the mirror always takes back what was borrowed. You can't destroy it. I can try. Evelyn's voice grew stronger now, defiant. Margaret's expression hardened. If you break it from inside, you destroy everything, every soul, every memory, even the purest part of yourself. Evelyn looked around at the endless reflections, her ancestors frozen in their eternal prison, their faces flickering like candlelight. Maybe that's what it needs, she whispered, to finally end. She turned and began walking through the mist, drawn toward a faint red glow ahead. The light pulsed like a heartbeat. As she neared it, she realized it wasn't light at all. It was her reflection, waiting for her. The other Evelyn smiled, perfect and calm. You're not supposed to be here, it said. You belong to me now. Evelyn stared back. No, you belong to them. She lunged forward, slamming her palms against the glass between them. The mirror screamed, a sound of cracking thunder and breaking bones. The surface splintered, spreading veins of light in every direction. The reflection fought back, its eyes glowing white, its mouth twisting into something monstrous. If you destroy me, you destroy everything you love. Evelyn gritted her teeth. Then let's both go home. She pressed harder. The glass cracked, then shattered. A blinding flash consumed everything. When she opened her eyes, she was lying on the floor of the old house. The storm was gone. Sunlight poured through the windows. The mirror was gone, shattered into 1,000 pieces across the room. Her reflection stared back at her from the shards, but this time, it moved with her perfectly. She felt lighter. On the wall beside her was her aunt's last note, burned at the edges, but still legible. If the mirror ever breaks, our memories will finally rest. But remember, Evelyn, nothing pure stays pure forever. Evelyn stood slowly, brushing dust from her hands. The house felt different now, calm, almost empty. She walked outside, breathing the crisp air of a new morning. Behind her, in one of the broken shards, lying in the sunlight, a faint image lingered, Evelyn's reflection, smiling. But when Evelyn turned to look, the smile faded. The shard glimmered once, then went still.